What's happening? I'm Ross. I want to highlight a story today about a lady who bought a house. She bought it at the height of the bubble. She probably overextended herself, and now she's regretting it. But I feel like personally, I feel like this lady got lightweight conned or swindled or finessed. I don't know how she got the loan through the bank and the agent. Some of the things she says, it just seems, kind of shady to me. But let's get into the article. It's out of BuzzFeed. She bought her house as the market peaked. Now she regrets it. It says Kristen Riggins had 30 days to move after her landlord's management company told her they were selling the home she was renting with her three children, which absolutely sucks because you're in a place, you're stable, and then all of a sudden you get this like, hey, you got to move. Unable to find affordable rental in time, rents in Columbus, Georgia were rising. Riggins ended up moving her family into a hotel, uncertain of what to do next, right? So already it's starting off on a bad foot. She's in a bad place and then trying to make probably one of the largest financial decisions of your life in a place of fear and desperation. That's just not a good combination off the rip, right? She had been pre-approved for a mortgage about a year earlier at a rate near 3.5%, so she starts to look more seriously at buying. I said, well, if I'm going to pay this rent, I might as well buy, she told BuzzFeed News. Like many people caught in the latest home buying rush, however, Riggins, who processes medical claims for work, was repeatedly outbid. Her agent said she would have to go above a home's asking price if she wanted to close the deal. The problem with that is you've got to work within your budget. You can't say, well, you've got to increase the amount you're going to pay for this house. That's only if it fits within your budget. That's only if it fits within your budget. Your budget is not unlimited. So it's not on how much you want to build, right? And her agent isn't doing any favors. Like I've I'll come clean. I've read this already, and if her agent did half of the things she says, I think she lightweight got swindled. She got finessed. I almost feel like it's a scam or a trick to get more into debt. I worked so hard to get my credit up, even to be able to apply for a mortgage, Riggins said. Home ownership is almost another way to keep people under. And that's unfortunate. See, now she's got this idea of home ownership that it's awful, and that's because she was led astray by her agent. In May, Riggins' $202,000 offer on a 3-bedroom home with a yard was accepted, but interest rates were rising. I started to back out so many times, especially when I was going through those bidding wars. And even with this, I didn't feel good about bidding that much, she said. I'll never forget when my agent did the paperwork and turned it in. I didn't get any sleep at night. I remember calling her the next morning and I was like, I'm thinking about backing out. Maybe I should just find a place to rent. Riggins said that the agent reminded her that a home is an investment and that when the rates were lower, she could refinance, and suggested she cut corners somewhere or try to pick up a part-time job. Now, see, that to me, I feel like that's lightweight finessing somebody, because these agents know that the higher the price of the home, the higher their commission, right? And for you to tell somebody that sounds like she's a single mother. I'm just guessing here. There's no mention of a significant other, and she does mention kids. So, and they were in a hotel room. So, for you to tell a single mother that she's got to cut corners somewhere and get a part-time job to afford the home that she's currently about to buy. How about this? Don't buy the house. If you got to get a part-time job, to afford the house that you're currently buying, don't buy the house. Don't buy the house. And that's why I think her agent, now, I don't want to throw her agent on the bus. I wasn't there. This is just what Kristen's saying. So I'm going with what Kristen's saying. Kristen, I'm with you. I'm with you, sis. I feel like she got swindled. That's ridiculous. But at the same time, you cannot, your agent, just like anybody else, your financial planner, your agent, your banker, your accountant, I don't care who, your lawyer, it don't matter. They're all advisors. At the end of the day, you have to live with your decision. She could say her agent led her astray. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you signed the mortgage paperwork. She should have backed out. Like if you're struggling to make the payment before you even got it in the mortgage, that's not the way to start out your mortgage, right? And now she thinks that the mortgage are another way to keep people down because she's gotten herself into a pickle here. Riggins tried her best to shake off her nerves and moved ahead with the sale. It was a relief to finally be able to move her kids out of the hotel. And that's part of the problem. She's living in a hotel. She's under great stress. She's probably scared, right? And then she's got the so-called expert, somebody she's looking to for guidance, telling her that she should cut corners or get a part-time job to afford the house she's about to buy. She just got set up for failure. But by the time she closed in July, her mortgage rate was 6%. So the rate was almost double what she had been quoted before, setting off a chain of financial consequences she was unprepared for. I feel like I bought more problems, she said. And you did. That's exactly what she did. She bought more problems. Yikes. Riggins' monthly rent had only been $800 a month. Her mortgage for a home of the same size is about $1,500. So she almost doubled her rent. I mean, she probably wasn't doing all the best with her rent before, but she got a payment that was almost double her rent. That's just $1,500 in mortgage. That's not even counting fixing anything. Now when something breaks, you're on the hook for it. It's not counting probably increased electric costs, increased utility costs. The house also needed repairs that her inspector did not catch. None of the kitchen appliances worked. There were electrical issues. The roof needed to be fixed. She found mold under the cabinets. I feel like I was really screwed over and put in a really bad space, she said. So there's so much to unpack here. Where were you at, Kristen, when the person was going through your home? Were you not there with the inspector? How do you not catch the ovens, the refrigerator, none of the appliances, though? Did you open the refrigerator? I tell you what, I'd be trying to sue the inspector. Something needs to happen. If that inspector is certified and bonded, how could you miss something as basic as the kitchen appliances not working? These electrical issues, they don't say what they were, but how do you miss that? She found mold under the cabinets. Oh boy, oy vey. She got really taken, right? Between her inspector, her agent, the people that signed up for the loan. Again, it doesn't say what her salary is, but it sounds like she could not afford this $1,500 a month payment, and she was able to get the mortgage anyway. So again, all of these people bear some responsibility, but at the end of the day, it's on her. It's her life. It's her home. She's the one making the biggest transaction of her life, so she's got to do her homework. Yeah, that's on you. It sucks. Riggins depleted her savings and has nearly maxed out her credit cards, which she previously kept only for emergencies. This is just not going to end well for Kristen, right? She's already up against it with the mortgage payments. Now she's got credit cards maxed out. Who knows how much she's got on credit card debt now. Interest rates are only going to go up on credit. Your average credit card debt is anywhere from 15 to 17% right now, and it's only going up. So she's getting ate up. This is going to end badly. I predict this will be a foreclosure, bankruptcy, something for her. She downsized from an SUV to a sedan to reduce her car payments. So she's got car payments as well. Yikes. Riggins is getting by paycheck to paycheck now and earning extra money by working for Instacart and renting out her car. Still, there was no wiggle room to take her daughter out for birthdays this year. This is a case of where you're supposed to get the house, you buy the house, and you think it's going to be a blessing, but really it turns into a curse. If you buy too much house, it will turn into a curse, not a blessing. Riggins said she is the first person in her family to own a home, which she is proud of, although she regrets not having anyone to guide her through the process. Yeah, and she didn't know what she was doing. Now, I would say this, that anybody's listening, if you're a young person, or even if you just don't know what you're doing, you're about to buy a house, get online. YouTube it, man. You should be watching YouTube video after YouTube video. There's no reason she couldn't have gone onto YouTube and been kind of a semi-expert on purchasing a home in, 30 days after watching, if she watches 30 to 40 minutes of YouTube videos a day for 30 days, she would have been a semi-expert in purchasing a home, right? She would have not passed by that the kitchen appliances don't work. She would have found these things before she bought the home, and then that would have gave her cause to back out. I mean, she had cause to back out because she couldn't afford it, but that's a whole nother story. She has put her mortgage into forbearance. Oh, she's already in forbearance? She has put her mortgage into forbearance, and while her payments are on hold now, interest is still accruing. This is the worst case scenario. Oh my goodness. So now she's in forbearance. She's got credit card debts maxed out. Oh boy. Oy vey. And while her payments are on hold now, interest is still accruing. She plans to save up to take care of the remaining repairs so that the house is in good enough condition to rent out. And how is she going to rent the house? So they said earlier that her rent before was $800. Her mortgage is $1,500. How is she going to spread that gap? If in Columbus, Georgia, the rents are, let's just say they went up to a little bit to $1,000. Still, they're going to have a $500 a month, gap there. She plans this. Okay, she plans to save up and take care of the remaining repairs so that the house is in good enough condition to rent. Then she and her kids can move in with her mother in Oklahoma to get back to a better spot financially. That's not a good idea. Home ownership, she said, may still be upheld as a central part of the American dream, but I don't think it's a dream. I honestly think in my situation, I was set up for failure. Yes, Kristen, you were. So her plan is not good. Her plan to get out of this house is still not good. She's stuck in this house. You know what's going to happen? She's going to end up walking away. She's going to end up turning in the keys and getting a foreclosure on her credit and walking away. She can't afford the payment. She's already in forbearance, so she's only paying interest. She's paying interest only, so she's not making any progress on her principal. She's talking about renting it out, but earlier it said that her rent was $800. So if her rent was $800 and now she's paying $1,500, who's going to cover that gap? Let's just say that since she's moved out, rents have gone up. So it's still going to be, let's just call it $1,000. Maybe we'll call it $1,100. There's still going to be a $300 to $400 gap every month between the rent and what the mortgage is. Now, it's better than what she is now, but so she's going to move out of state, leave the house behind. She's never been a landlord before. She's going to be out of state being a landlord, and the house is going to be eating part of her check, eating part of her income. That's not going to work at all. I tell you what, she's better off right now just turning in the keys and walking away from the thing. I don't want to be down on her, but moving out of state now, this is her first time even purchasing a home, let alone now it's going to be her first time being a landlord. But she's not going to be in the States to landlord that property, to manage it correctly. She is, setting herself up for failure again with this landlord thing. So anyways, once again, my name is Ross. If you got any value out of this video, please hit the like button. Consider hitting the subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helped me out immensely. Peace.